What is going on, guys? JimJam Gaming here. Welcome back to a new video. Tangledeep is the game we're going to be playing today. It's a 16-bit roguelike RPG, so it feels like we're back in 1999. I've had a quick look at the reviews and stuff like that on the game. It's all about turn-based fighting, just old school RPGs, you know what I mean? I've had a developer's copy here now off the developers just to have a little test on the game, make a video, let you guys know what it's all about, what we can do in the game, what kind of features we've got, is there any storyline, is there any good a good combat system, what the items like, what the leveling up's like, what the skills are like, and just basically and generally the gameplay. So we're going to move on from here now. We're just going to get started. So it gives you in the beginning two types of game modes, heroic and adventure. Heroic is when you actually are going to be dead finally, and adventure is when you die, it's fine, you can go back to the start. So here we've got different classes, and every class gives you different, obviously different abilities. You get your basic abilities, stamina power-ups. So advanced abilities is when your bleed effects will cause more damage and stuff. Depends what you're going, really. So obviously it's like you got the mages, which will give you a better basic ability for your MPs, which is mana points and stuff like that. You've got your knights, which I'm guessing could heal at the same time. You've got like the one with the spear. So you've just got to have a quick read through really and see what you want to be. Obviously here it says like the sword dancer effortlessly carves through enemies with impeccable discipline, technique and grace. Gives you the ability each step to add to the duration of Stir Flame and Ice Tortoise. So that means it's like that's their moves, and the basic ability will obviously improve their moves. So then we come to the first town. This is your home base, this town. From what I can see around here, you've got a lot of vendors. Obviously one looks like they can heal you. It looks like there's a little bank up the top. You got a campfire, probably get cooking, general supplies, etc, etc, etc. So this is probably your main hub, your main base, where you will actually come back to if you die, come back to if you need supplies, come back to if you need to upgrade your guy. So that guy was called Nando's, I think. That's a bit cliche. Anyway, let's head over to the dungeon. So now we're getting to the combat aspect of the game. You have to get close to them in range of one square to hit a melee. You can obviously equip spells, which I'll show you a little bit later on, to attack them from distance. You can do it with a ranger with different weapons. So if you've got a bow, you can stand a few squares back, attack from there. But every attack will take MP away from you. So if I'm doing a magic attack, MP will be consumed to complete that magic attack. There's also another bar with a stamina bar. Stamina is usually consumed with every move you do. So if I'm attacking melee, my stamina will go down. If I'm attacking with magic, my stamina will go down. Getting to the loot system in this game now. So if you break up vases, any crates, any rubble, anything that looks like they hold something, a chest, stuff like that, usually it'll drop a piece of loot. You walk over the loot and you will pick it up automatically. You have a little GUI on the bottom left hand side that will tell you what you've picked up when you've walked over it, and if you've walked past something on the ground, etc. So we're getting to the leveling up aspect of the game now. You get experiences for killing monsters, and then eventually you'll level up. It comes up to this screen, then you get to pick a core attribute to level up. Because I'm a mage, I'll obviously go with Spirit. It'll power up my Spirit power, which would be like my mana in this case, my staff attacks and everything like that. If you were a rogue, you'd go with something a bit different, maybe something to help your agility, etc. And then if you were a warrior, you'd obviously go with stuff with strength. So obviously go with it as a class specific, if it's going to benefit you as a class, or if it's going to benefit you as how you're going to play this game. You can just choose what would make sense on that. These boxes here are Pandora's box. So what they do then is give you JP, which is job points. They'll help you level up and pick skills within the game, experience or gold. JP is pretty handy really, because when you go into these boxes, it gives you quite a bit, but then the enemies on that level and throughout the game will get harder. So what I've noticed in my experience here is they actually do get harder, and I've had to teleport to town. There's a little teleport tab here where you teleport to town, but it takes 12 turns, so obviously you wouldn't do that if there's any enemies anywhere. The well that I just walked past then, that'll refill your health vial, so you can use that. That's a rejuvenation vial, so over time it'll heal you, so it won't be an instant heal. You've got to take turns for it to heal you, but they're handy to have because you do take damage in this game. So an interesting aspect in Tangledeep is the terrain effects. So what happens is if you walk into the water or deep mud, you become rooted, so that'll make you slower. If you're going to be chased by another person, it'll take you longer to get through the squares, obviously, and stuff like that. You can also get like electrocuted, so you get stunned. You can stand in like fire, which will hurt you if you stand there for long periods of time. These are all to affect the terrain battle. So you can use this at either your advantage or it'll go into your disadvantage whilst you're playing the game. On this skill screen is where you use your JP points. JP points will be consumed and you get to pick different skills. The different skills will help you out in different various ways. The skills that will cause damage, the skills that will cure ailments, the skills that will cure you as in heal. There's skills that can change the direction of which your attacks form, so i.e. it can go in straight line, it can go into a diagonal line across the squares, it can go into like a 4-block square, and what happens there is you use these skills to defeat the monsters within the dungeon. Some of the skills work better than on some monsters than others, because if you highlight a monster, it'll show you how hostile they are, how easy they are to take down, what weaknesses they have got, and it'll also show you what ailment it has. So obviously I put them on fire, so the spider said it was burning. See how the directional of the squares came on then? That's because I've changed it to be directional like that. And then obviously the monsters have their own techniques as well, so you'll see like a dark shade of red come onto the battleground. You've either got to move out of that within the turn. It can be quite quick paced if you want it to be. Obviously you can slow it down. If you don't move, the turns will not move without your move first, so you're always the first move. Once you make your move, everybody else on the board will make a move then, so you can be quite clever with it, or you can rush through how I am now. It's entirely up to you. What I do like about this game is the items that you can obtain. There's been a lot of thought process going into these items. The items will do a lot of different things. There's a big description on what they will do. Different foods will heal different things over time or instantly. You got items that'll conjure stuff up in front of you. So the database for items in this game seems vast, and obviously because this game's in early access, you'll get more and more added all the time. So here's a prime example that you would have to use the turn-based as tactically as possible, because I get jumped here because I didn't look at it properly. But this is just an example to show you what happens when you die. So I'm on an adventure mode, obviously. So when you die, you'll lose some job points. You'll lose about 500 gold, which is quite a lot in the beginning. You'll lose your level experience. So if you were halfway up to get into, like, say, level 5 in experience, you'll lose all that experience and you'll die. You'll go back to town. See, that's the screen I was just talking to you about right there. So here we are in the town. We're just checking out some of the vendors. You've got everything really that you'd need. You've got the general item store. You've got the ones for the consumables where you can buy your foods and your potions, etc. You can go to the priest. You can get healed up before you go in. You can go to a bank. You can put your coins in there. You can put your items in there. So everything that you really need is in this town. What I did notice that they have used though is like Final Fantasy's icon of the finger pointer. So if you see a selector, I'm sure that's from like Final Fantasy 7 or like a couple before. But what can you expect from an indie game? They will kind of like take ideas from all these other type of games. Maybe sometimes they'll take icons or whatnot. So it's hard to start. This is why I'm doing videos like this, just to support the developers that haven't got the big fan bases. I'm not saying I've got a big fan base, but you know, trying to grow and stuff like that. We're all helping each other out. So these are different items here that you get, like items that will have +2 on parry, +2 on magic. Obviously they're all in different rarities and you've got to decide what you want as a loadout. So after briefly playing this game for a couple of hours earlier, I really do like it. I think it's got some good ideas, it's got some good mechanics. I know the graphics ain't all there, etc., but for a turn-based game, all you really need is something like a 16-bit, you know, turn-based roguelike game. It fits it perfectly. I think they've got a good GUI. I think they've got some good items in it. I think they've got some good combat aspects in it. You know, there's a lot of information on the screen. You can have a good read through things. They've got a bit of lore going on. Their dungeon seems to self-generate, so if you go back in, it's not exactly the same floor that you've got. Yes, it does feel a bit linear because all it is a bit of the different background. So, but what can you expect from a game that's, you know, an indie game, small, trying to develop properly? But what I do like about it is it's addictive. It's like a cheap heroin. You will get stuck in on it. You won't be able to turn it off like I haven't. I've been playing for a few hours, like I said, but I've got to move on to different videos. So yeah, if you like this video, just hit up Tangledeep on Steam. I think it's about £10, and get stuck in. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. It's really, really good. And then just choose a class and go with from there, and just let me know how you get on. If you get stuck, I'll definitely be playing this game a bit more once I get the time to play it. I'll put another video up just to see where I've progressed in it. So let me know, you guys, how you get on with the game, and if you've enjoyed it, and if you'd recommend it onto a friend. Thanks very much for watching. If you did like the video, please like and subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. Thanks.